Hello, welcome to part 2 of me predicting the NFL draft, the first round. Today I will be predicting picks 11 through 20 of the 2025 NFL draft. Let's go on to the 11th pick. The San Francisco 49ers have the 11th pick in the 2025 NFL draft. Their position needs are defensive lineman, edge, offensive lineman, running back, cornerback. They are now on the clock. I think they should go with a defensive player with this pick. They need help on the defensive line and secondary. I think they should go with an edge rusher or a defensive lineman because they're both on the line. Mostly because those are their top two position needs, and because there's still elite players available who, if you don't draft them right now, they're going to be off the board very soon. This is the best move available for them because their defense declined last year, and evidently so. It was ranked 20th in points per game allowed. Not good. No, not bad, but also not good either. Mediocre, which is the worst you can be as a defense because you're just at that point. Like, you're okay, but still you're going to lose games because of it. Because you got to be great in this league at defense. Because the way offenses run, if you don't have star players on defense, you're going to get exposed because it's a passing game. It's a scoring game. You need a defense that's going to hold them to as little as possible. Defense wins championships. They're offensive powerhouses. There's so many. The pick is in. The San Francisco 49ers select with the 11th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, Walter Nolan, defensive lineman, junior from Ole Miss. This is a great pick for them, and they are adding another key player to their defense that really needs it. Nolan has got a great build for a defensive lineman, standing at 6'4", 296 pounds, meaning he is slightly less weight than typical defensive linemen who are like 300 plus. But the way his build is, he's a lot faster because he's a little bit lighter. Because a lot of defensive linemen are like 315. He's 296, so he's in the 290s. They need to rebuild their defensive line. Let's go over his strengths. He has impressive playmaking production as an interior defender. He's twitchy off the snap and into blockers with good pop. He has the power to punch and shove defenders aside to take over the gap. He can absorb double teams or play across the blocker's face and into the backfield. He has an outstanding body control to regain balance to make a play. He has the ability to pressure the pocket, which creates 3 down value. And he sets up his edge-to-edge rush challenge. Anyway, he's a great defensive lineman. And evidently so. Ole Miss has a great defense because of him. Ole Miss wasn't a name I heard for years until a few years ago when they started getting good again. But anyway, great pick. Great player. He's one of the best defensive players in this draft for a reason. Who's very underrated because he doesn't go to Alabama or Georgia. All right, my Dallas Cowboys have the 12th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Their position needs are wide receiver, running back, cornerback, linebacker, and defensive lineman. They are now on the clock. I think they go with a wide receiver or a running back with this pick, but mostly wide receiver because they really need help there. I mean, they got Miles Sanders at running back. He could be good, but I think his years are past him because that ankle injury that he had in 2021, I think it was, really messed him up. He hasn't been the same since. He's been inconsistent. He doesn't look like he used to be. Back then, he was an elite running back. And our current wide receiver 2 is Brandon Cooks, who, let's just say, he isn't one of the best wide receivers in the league anymore. He wasn't that great last year. And Jalen Tolbert I was hoping he would transition to wide receiver too, but I don't think he is because he doesn't get enough targets per game consistently to be a wide receiver too. There are games where he gets a lot of targets and a lot of yards, and then the next game he completely is nowhere to be seen. You can't be that when you're a wide receiver too, especially since your wide receiver one's going to get double covered in some plays. Or some games it might be shut out and you need to step up. Overall, we need to take a wide receiver more than we do a running back. Nowadays, running game really doesn't matter other than like maybe picking up first downs or clock management. Now, some teams, they have a running game, but it's mostly pass dominated. Now, I like a running game, but we need wide receiver help, which was shown because whenever CeeDee Lamb was out of the game, we struggled. We had no help. You need a wide receiver because we look one-dimensional, and the problem isn't running back. It's the problem is we need a running back, but we can draft one later. We need a better wide receiver core because we didn't replace the wide receivers who were gone. Michael Gallup, we didn't replace him. And there's still most of the elite and top wide receivers in the draft are still available. All right. The pick is now in. The Dallas Cowboys select with the 12th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft Matthew Golden, wide receiver, junior from University of Texas. This is a great pick, man. He's one of the best, if not the best, wide receiver in the draft. Most analysts, I hear this all over. His draft stock's rising up currently. I think he will be there. Most analysts say because Travis Hunter has been they're like, man, he's a little bit overrated. Matthew Golden, according to his numbers, a lot of them say, and I kind of agree with this because I've seen his tape, is the best wide receiver in this NFL draft, and the Cowboys picked him up. He's an absolute beast. I mean, he's the reason why Texas returned. In his time, he's one of the most elite wide receivers in college football, and one of the best, if not the best. That's just simple. What, you think Texas all of a sudden went from being almost unranked to the top program in football again in 4 years? No. It's because they acquired some great wide receivers and great players, and one of the major contributors was Matthew Golden. This is a steal, and he is a top wide receiver in this draft, which we need. Let's go over his strengths. He meets the moment with big plays and big games. His adequate linear speed to work past corners on vertical routes is elite. He has agile feet, which allow quicker gather and cut as a route runner. He has good alteration of route tempo and intermediate work. He shows the ability to sink slow and open quickly from hard vertical push. His twitchy protection methods protect the catch through contact, and he displays excellent body control when going up for passes that are in the air. My point is, great route runner, has great speed, as in breakaway speed. He's great at 50-50 balls. He's a very versatile wide receiver. He isn't just one-dimensional. He has speed, he has great route running, he has great football IQ. He is a great wide receiver. I guarantee, if everything goes right, he's going to be a top wide receiver for many years to come. There's a reason why he's ranked that high. All right, the Miami Dolphins have the 13th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Their position needs are offensive lineman, defensive lineman, safety, cornerback, tight end. They are now on the clock. This is a great position in this draft for them because there are various ways that they could immensely improved their team, which has become, especially on their defensive side of the ball, which has become weak over the years because players leave and they haven't replaced them yet. But I think they are going to create less holes at the more important positions on the defensive side of the ball. Because as you know, there are some positions more important than others. I think they go with a corner because defense against the pass is the most important in a pass-first league. You address corners because if you have a terrible secondary, you're going to get passed all over. The pick is in. The Miami Dolphins select with the 13th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft Will Johnson, defensive back, junior from University of Michigan. This is a great pick which addresses a big need that they had even before Jalen Ramsey requested a trade. He has a great frame and build, which is needed to be an elite DB in the NFL, which is a completely different game than college, which will benefit him various ways. Let's go over his strengths. He's big, smooth, and initiative. He presses with patient feeding him on reroutes. He connects quickly from press and can run with the route. He's got good body control and change of direction in space. His pre-snap play recognition makes it seem like he was in the offensive huddle, and he reads the passer and anticipates routes for takeaways. Essentially, great football IQ, will be a great addition to the Miami Dolphins. And he's very quick. He's a great corner. He has all the things you want in a corner. And he played against some of the best wide receivers in college football. The Indianapolis Colts have the 14th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Their position needs are tight end, offensive lineman, linebacker, edge, and running back. They are now on the clock. I think that they go with an offensive lineman rather than address some of their defensive needs because part of the reason why Anthony Richardson tapped out, he's been running for his life ever since he's gotten drafted and started. They have a terrible offensive line, and they need to address that. Why do you think players like Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck almost died because of, not really almost died, their careers almost ended. And Andrew Luck's did because they didn't address their offensive line. Well, Andrew Luck literally got destroyed by the Indianapolis Colts for years, injury after injury, because they didn't protect him. Addressing their offensive line is the most important. It's their most important need. Because you want protection for your QB if he's your franchise guy. Because if you don't protect your quarterback, you're going to ruin him. Look at RG3. The pick is in. The Indianapolis Colts select with the 14th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft Armand Membo, offensive tackle, junior from University of Missouri. This is an absolute great pick, which addresses their greatest need in the draft, and they are drafting one of the best offensive tackles in the entire draft. He is ranked in PFF as a 90.9, as in one of the best offensive tackles in the draft on paper, one of the best players in the NFL draft. He was ranked 5th out of 643 offensive tackles in the NCAA, meaning he's one of the best. There's only 4 players ranked above him. He dominates the defensive line. They don't get past him, which is why Missouri is known for its good offensive line. That's it. That is it. There's a lot of players who play for not so great teams that are good at what they do. It's just that they don't have that many talented offensive players. Let's go over his strengths. He's got impeccable body control and poise in his pass sets. He keeps weight inside on kick slides with easy redirect versus counters. He protects with independent hands and a fluid mirror. His twitchy hands cleanse up rushers who get too close. He's athletic and agile to stay connected to rushers around the arc, and he sifts through moving bodies with good clarity to find his man. As soon as he finds his man, it's over. It doesn't matter who is going against him. You're not getting past him. He's got great technique, great speed, and is pretty tall. He's got great stature, perfect build. There's a reason why he's ranked one of the best offensive tackles in the draft. Usually PFF doesn't make mistakes. If they rank somebody that high, it means that they have the best performance and are the best. The Atlanta Falcons have the 15th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Their position needs are edge rusher, defensive lineman, corner, offensive lineman, and safety. They are now on the clock. I think they need to address some of their most important defensive key position needs with this pick. And with their later picks as well, they should, because that's smart. 4 of their top 5 position needs are defense-oriented, including 2 in their secondary. I think they go with addressing their defensive line, though, because they need it more, due to who their starters are and how much they need it. Since that's just how it is. Sometimes it's to replace aging players. Other times it is to just, you need depth and you just don't have great players available who are starting. That's just how it works. If you have a weakness, you correct it. The pick is in. The Atlanta Falcons select with the 15th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, Mike Green, edge, redshirt junior, University of Marshall. This is an absolute steal of a pick and addresses their biggest position need right away. They needed an edge rusher really badly. And they're drafting somebody who's considered one of the best edges in the draft, despite having only 2 years of starting experience. But he's pretty young, so he's got a lot more developing to do. It's insane how much, and plus, when they're young in the NFL, they're able to be developed more, and they're gonna get better and better and better. That's why teams like taking on projects, because they're like, they're gonna play for us for a long time. We can mold them, and maybe even by the time like they would be getting out of college for the draft, like they'll be one of the best in the NFL. He has a 92.4 grade, ranking him second out of all edge rushers in the NCAA, meaning he's one of the best edges in the draft, if not the best. His stature and overall build has given him an advantage, standing at 6'3", 251 pounds. Due to his similar height to some linebackers, he could maybe transition over to linebacker if needed. He is faster than edges who are smaller than him, or not smaller than, bigger than him. Like, they weigh more than him because he weighs significantly less, because a lot of edge rushers are like 260 to 280, and he's 245 or 251. So he's got that edge, meaning he's much faster than some edges who are weigh a little bit more, because he's lighter, meaning he's able to get off the line quicker. Let's go over his strengths. His burst, leverage, and leg drive propel him into the backfield. He clubs, fights, and slips his way off blocks to tackle. His ankle flexion allows him to corner low and tight around the edge, and he rushes with relentless forward charge and a nose for the finish line. He's after that quarterback is what you're saying, or is what I'm saying. He gets after the QB. And he has great technique despite being very young, and will be great in the NFL for many years to come. The Arizona Cardinals have the 16th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Their position needs are offensive lineman, wide receiver, edge, defensive lineman, and cornerback. They are now on the clock. I think they go with an offensive lineman with this pick because they need offensive lineman help. They have an atrocious offensive line, and they need to protect Kyler Murray. They've addressed their wide receiver positions. They added Marvin Harrison Jr. They need to address their offensive line now because they've neglected it for way too long. And there's tons of some of the top offensive linemen are still available, and they might not be available for much longer because there's a lot of teams that need to rebuild their offensive line. The pick is now in. The Arizona Cardinals select with the 16th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, Kelvin Banks Jr., offensive tackle, junior from University of Texas. Again, guys, I'm trying to shorten this. I mean, I'm going into detail. It's just I'm trying to summarize my main points. He is this prospect, it was a surprise that he wasn't taken yet. He is one of the best offensive tackles in this entire draft. Like top 5. He's a top 5 offensive tackle in the draft. He's basically a top 10, top 15 offensive tackle in this draft, or not offensive tackle in this draft. He's a top 5 offensive tackle in this draft, but he's like top 10 to 15 out of all offensive tackles in the college football. Realize not all the top offensive linemen declared for the draft. So if they're a top prospect and they got a top number, it means they're pretty good. But he's an absolute beast. He protected all the great Texas quarterbacks, which led to the redemption of Texas after being, they were good for a while, but then they started to suck. He has immense stature, and he's a big guy. He's a big guy, which you want in your offensive tackles. You want them to be big. You want them to be girthy. He's 6'5", 315 pounds, so wouldn't want to pick a bar fight with him. Let's go over his strengths. He plays with good initial quickness and easy athleticism. He tracks rushers with smooth slides and a steady base, and he refuses to overset and unnecessarily open an inside lane. The Cincinnati Bengals have the 17th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Their position needs are edge rusher, safety, linebacker, offensive lineman, and corner. They are now on the clock. I think they address some of their defensive position needs. They either draft an edge rusher or a linebacker with this pick because they need to be aware of what great elite players are still left on the board. They need to draft an edge rusher or a linebacker, essentially. And some players may have dropped because some scouts believe they lack character, meaning they didn't make good decisions and have a bad reputation. But there's players like that in every draft. The pick is in. The Cincinnati Bengals select with the 17th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, Jihad Campbell, linebacker, junior, University of Alabama. This is a great pick with a guy who was ranked up 13th overall and was still on the board almost to the 20th pick. He is a perfect build for a linebacker. He stands 6'3", 235 pounds, which is a perfect weight because he weighs around the same as most running backs. Give or take, add another 10 pounds, meaning he's able to reach the speed of them because he's around the same size as them. So he's built kind of like, but he's also tall, so he's a perfect linebacker. Because you want your linebackers to be pretty tall because they have to wrap around, they got to stop the run, and they got to They used to man. Maybe sometimes they do a little man coverage and slants, but they mainly have to go against these big tight ends. So you want them to be tall. He isn't in the department that Micah Parsons is, as in like he's not around like 245, 250, but he's got great speed and acceleration to make up for it though. You don't have to be like 255 to be a linebacker. You can be a little bit undersized. There a lot of linebackers line up on the edge, so he's more of a traditional linebacker because he's 6'3", 235. Because a lot of those bigger linebackers, they're more like an extra defensive end. Let's go over his strengths. He's got prototypical height, weight, and musculation. He has impressive production in high-impact stat columns. His pursuit speed allows sideline to sideline workspace, and he breaks down and mirrors back as an open field tackler. The Seattle Seahawks have the 18th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Their position needs are offensive lineman, wide receiver, cornerback, safety, and defensive lineman. They are now on the clock. The Seahawks are in a great position when it comes to addressing their various key holes in their offense. Let's be honest. They could address their offensive line, which could help as their quarterback because they need it. But I think personally, they go with wide receiver because they traded away DK Metcalf and Taylor Lockett. He's at that age where he's starting to decline year by year because he's been around forever, man. I remember him in the last time the Seattle Seahawks were in the Super Bowl, which was 2014, 2015. He's been around that long. So, been around for a bit. And they need to replace DK Metcalf. So, they should draft a wide receiver with this position because there's tons of wide receivers available that could become elite wide receivers. The pick is not win. The Seattle Seahawks select with the 18th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft Emeka Egbuka, wide receiver, senior from The Ohio State University. This is a great and strategically planned pick by the Seattle Seahawks. People were like, oh, maybe they won't pick up a great wide receiver. I'm like, just wait. They waited instead of like drafting up and giving up a lot. They just waited and still drafted one of the top wide receivers in this entire draft because I told you, certain teams don't need wide receivers. So, yeah. You don't expect teams to draft wide receiver after wide receiver in the top 10. It's going to be a little bit in the later round, in the later first round. He's an absolute great wide receiver who definitely carried Ohio State and contributed a lot. No, he wasn't the best, but like he put up great numbers. And I feel like these analysts, they haven't mentioned him at all. You forget he spent all 4 years at Ohio State. I think it's because like Jeremiah Smith went in this year and he kind of overshadowed him the entire season. I mean, he has the full experience playing for one of the best programs in college football. He has a perfect frame for a receiver, especially as a deep ball threat or a receiver that has insane amounts of speed, since most players like him are in the 5'11" to 6'2" range. They are known to be some of the fastest receivers and are known for being feared when they go deep. He has a perfect frame standing at 6'1", 202 pounds. His closest comparison is to actually his former teammate Jackson Smith-Njigba, who was also a great wide receiver at Ohio State. Yeah, there's a recent trend of Ohio State producing some of the best wide receivers in all of football. Let's go over his strength. He's a former outfielder with excellent track and adjustability and catch radius. He has good feel for manipulating the covered space. He hits his turn and stems with good timing and tempo. He's a smart hand fighter with the ability to create late space and delays adjustments to keep coverage from reading his actions, which is great. In other words, you don't want the defense to know exactly what you're going to do. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the 19th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Their position needs are linebacker, corner, edge rusher, safety, and offensive lineman. They are now on the clock. Obviously, I have a lot more written down. It's just I'm summarizing my main points. I did a lot of research, but you want it concise. You don't want this video to be 2 hours long. I think personally, I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers address their holes on the defensive side of the ball. And they should continue later on in the draft because there's a lot of... This is a very, very deep defense-oriented draft. They need to fill in their major holes to rebuild their defense. Because if they don't make moves, those elite defensive players will get drafted anyway to teams that don't sleep on them. They should draft either a linebacker or an edge rusher because there's still the top elite guys available at both of those positions because it's a very deep edge rusher and linebacker class. Defense in general. The pick is now in. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers select with the 19th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft Donovan Ezeiruaku, edge rusher, senior from South Carolina. They are selecting a player who was great before the combine and was already known for how athletic, fast, and has been showcased in the way he plays the game of football. He's an absolute beast and had great combine numbers, finishing in the top 5 at his position throughout all the performances by edge rushers. He got top 5, which is really impressive. He has an advantage over his combination by his size and weight, or by his length and weight, which give him an advantage. Because certain players have advantages based on their position. If you weigh a little bit less, or if you're a good combination, you're going to have an insane advantage. He stands at 6'2", 248 pounds, so he is much faster than most edge rushers due to his undersized. Which really, like, if they can use it to their advantage, good. Now, if they aren't as good, then that's a problem. Yeah, most edge rushers are like 6'3" or taller, but doesn't really matter as long as you get to the quarterback. Let's go over his strengths. He has smooth hips with easy change of direction in his base. He has long arms that greet the blocker with forceful punch in the chest. He slips quickly past blocks and makes plays in the backfield. He uses agility, recognition, and athleticism to pile up tackles and rushes with consistent forward-leaning active hands. The Denver Broncos are the 20th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Their position needs are running back, wide receiver, corner, tight end, and defensive line. They are now on the clock. I think that they should address some of their needs on the offensive side of the ball because their defense has been rebuilt great and is one of the best units in football right now. I think they should go with a running back or wide receiver due to those positions, due to them being the most important positions, in my opinion, that they need to draft. The pick is in. The Denver Broncos select with the 20th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft Luther Burden III, wide receiver junior from University of Missouri. This is an absolute steal. This wide receiver is ranked 15th on PFF. I expected him to be gone by this time, but he's here and they got a steal. I think the reason why is because he plays for Missouri, which isn't that great of a football school. Let's go over his strengths. His early acceleration to bypass defenders and top end speed to stay ahead. He eludes route redirection to maintain vertical momentum. He has natural playmaking skills and instincts, and he stacks tracks and adjusts on deep balls like an outfielder. He operates with sudden, well timed hands and plucks throws cleanly and away from his frame. Basically, he creates separation. He's a great route runner, got great speed, and is just very underrated. All right, part 2 is over. Sorry if I didn't go as much in detail, but I just summarized it. I have a lot. I mean, each page is document. But that doesn't really matter. The point is, you know me, I go thorough. Plus, probably none of you are going to say that because like this is going to be like a 40-minute video. That's going into detail. All right, see ya. Ready for part 3.